welcome to a little video about the midline and amplitude of sine and cosine functions. So what a midline is a horizontal line, so it looks like this, and it is going to be a y equals line. All of our horizontal lines are y equals. It actually helps us represent or see from a graph if our function was moved up or down. So it represents a horizontal, oh my goodness. I'm looking at the word vertical and I'm saying horizontal. The midline represents a vertical shift up or down. Now, a usual sine and cosine function with absolutely no transformation has y equals 0 as its midline. That's what helps us understand a vertical shift up or down, because depending on this line, we'll know if the graph moved up or down. So if we have a positive or a negative number. All right, let's check this out. Okay, so let's find the midline, the line in the middle. Let me find a bright color like purple, and we will graph it. Okay, so in the middle of this graph is this line right here, and that is y equals 0. Now, that's easy for me to see, but what if it's not as easy to see? This is how I do it, and let me show you on this second graph. What I would do if it's not that easy for me to see, or what I did actually, is I look at the very top of my graph, and I look at the very bottom of my graph. Okay, and then the line that is right in the middle, that is my midline. So, y equals 3. Let's check out this next one. Again, this one's a little hard to see. So if you'd like, look at the top, which is -1. Look at the bottom, that's -3. What's in the middle of those two? It is -2. Our midline is y equals -2. Now, the graph in the middle, y equals 3, we shifted our graph up 3. It represents a vertical shift up. The last graph, y equals -2, represents a shift downwards instead. Okay. In amplitude. Amplitude of a sine or cosine function is the distance between the midline and the highest and lowest points. It can be described as a vertical stretch or compression. I don't know why I'm having trouble with the word vertical today. March 4th, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know. Okay, so in order to find the amplitude, we need to find the midline. Good thing we just learned how to do it. So let's look at the very left-hand graph. Let's draw in that midline. Now, let's see how many spaces is there between the midline and the highest or lowest point. It doesn't matter which one you choose because midline is in the middle. So whether you count up or down from there doesn't matter. Right, I have 1. That's it. Amplitude is 1. So there really wasn't any vertical stretch or compression happening. Because if you multiply anything by 1, it stays the same. All right, let's check out this next one. All right, first things first, let's draw the midline. Here it is. And again, I'm doing it visually. If you need to look at the top, look at the bottom, and find what's in the middle, that's also something you can do. You don't have to be as quick or as visual as I am. Okay, last time I counted upwards. Let's count down this time. Why not? All right, from the midline to the lowest point. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I went down to -4, but I'm counting the distance. Distance cannot be negative. I cannot stand here and tell you that yesterday I ran -5 miles. That doesn't make sense. Now, I can't tell you that I ran +5 miles either, because I totally didn't. But I can't do negative distances. That doesn't make sense. Because even if I do run let's say if you think of negative as backwards, I'm still traveling 5 miles. It's not possible to travel a negative distance. Maybe someday when time travel is invented, but that is not today. Okay, let's do the very last graph. Let's draw the midline. This is a funky one. Here it is. I'm going to zoom in, but it looks like I'm going to have to kind of guesstimate here. Gotta love that word, guesstimate. A guess estimate. I'm going to go upwards. This looks, let's say it's about a half. What do you guys think? Yeah, 1/2 sounds about right. So your amplitude in this case is 1/2. If you want to write 0.5, that's fine too. Okay, so midline, once again, is the middle of our graph, and the amplitude is the distance between the lower or higher point to the midline. It will always be the same distance because a midline cuts something in half, and when it's cut exactly in half, then the distance is equal from top to bottom. The amplitude will always be positive because it's a distance. Okay? Wonderful. Not too bad. We will do a couple extra examples in class, these 4 right here, but I hope this was sufficient for the video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.